Sean Payton has unloaded on the NFL about this whole bounty gate thing with James Harrison that potentially happened. I don't think it was a bounty. I think it was more like potentially Tomlin being... Now, granted, it does sound like we make excuses for people, but I feel like once you learn a little bit more about said culture and things that could potentially happen, it's not excuses. I don't think it was a bounty. I think if anything happened, you use an envelope, it's normally for at least $5,000, right? You're not enveloping for a couple $100. It's for $5,000. If said envelope was given from Tomlin to James Harrison, I would assume it was hey, you're going to get fined for that. Like, hey, good luck. And I would assume maybe some of his teammates have done that in the past. I don't think it was a, hey, since you got hit or since you hurt somebody, I'm giving you this money, if that makes sense.
Maybe it's like a swear jar situation where they add to it, every week, and then when someone gets fined, here's how much money was in the jar. You can get to have it.
What do you want me to look at there?
Harrison responded to it on his Instagram.
Yeah, I saw. He said, James Harrison also tweeted, wow, y'all really comparing what I said to Bounty Gate? Mike T, hold on. Mike T has never paid me for hurting someone or trying to hurt someone or put a bounty on anybody. If you knew the full story of what happened back then, you'd know that BS fine for illegal play wasn't even penalized during the game. The league was getting pressure because the first concussion lawsuits were starting and they had to look like they cared about player safety all of a sudden. Before that, they had been selling a photo of that same play for $55 on the NFL website with other videos of the NFL's greatest hits that the league profited on back then. They used to go in and out of commercial breaks, by the way, with big hits, the hits that they currently fined for. When the league had to start pretending like they cared about player safety, they took all those things down off their website and they started fining guys ridiculous amounts for the same plays they used to profit off of. Everybody knew it. Even these same media people and all the fans that were sending money to me and the team to cover the fine. Again, at no time did Mike T ever suggest anybody hurt anybody or that they'd be rewarded for anything like that. Get the fuck out of here with that BS. Hashtag receipts. So that's, I would assume him and Mike Tomlin were friends. And Mike Tomlin goes, well, it was either something he said funny-wise because they both have a lot of money, like, hey, you're going to get fined for that, here you go. Or it was a situation where maybe it never happened, like James Harrison's agent came out and said that this type of thing never happened. Rooney said that. Maybe James Harrison, maybe Tomlin had a friendship thing happen that, James Harrison's agent would never find out about it, or Rooney would find out. But this obviously has precedence whenever you talk about Greg Williams and the Bounty Gate, where allegedly they were putting money on people's heads, ankles, and knees. If they were to get hurt, you get paid out. Now, I obviously was never in a defensive meeting room. I was never a part of any of those conversations, but I used to give out bounties. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I used to give out bounties.
Big ones.
Hey, if you get a tackle inside the 20 here, $100 for whoever does it. Say it inside the huddle right before we go out there. Hey, tackle inside 20, anybody get $100. And it was a big kickoff. Go into that huddle right before everybody's like smelling salts are in there, doing their thing, getting ready to kamikaze their bodies down the field to go tackle somebody. Maybe it's a minute 10 left. We just scored to put us up. This is a big kickoff. You just poke your head into that huddle. You go, hey, $1,000 anybody tackles with inside the 20, and you hear a woo, right? Because they're already getting paid, but now they're getting an extra $1,000 on top of that. They jog out there. I kick a touchback. Everybody's mad. I mean, these are things that I used to do, and then all of a sudden, when Bounty Gate came out, now, if they were telling people to knock people out and tear ACLs and stuff like that, that is obviously not cool, especially in the NFL. And Sean Payton still comes out very against that entire thing happening. But I was told directly, like, yeah, you can't do the kickoff bounty anymore. You can't do that type of stuff. It's like, well, what if somebody downs a ball at the 1 for me on a punt? I can't give that guy $500. Like, well, you can't tell anybody you're doing it. And if he accepts it, it's a bad thing. I'm like, I won't let you know. If somebody downs a punt at a 1 with an amazing play, I'm potentially getting them a watch. Is that in the bounty thing? And they're like, no, you can't do anything anymore. I'm like, well, it saves me some money, I guess. But I always made the announcement like, hey, I would pay you for this if, they weren't trying to take off Brett Favre's head down there with the Saints.
Oh, but quarterbacks can give their whole line presents, but you can't give your guys presents.
Huh.
Well said.
Well said.
Positionism.
It is, completely. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Anyways, the bounty thing is a big deal because of what happened in New Orleans. There was a lot of fines, suspensions, and things of that nature. Now, whenever money's being handed out, people want to say it's the same thing. I don't think it's anywhere near it, as James Harrison was said.